Hello students. So this is our next part video of organometallic compounds. So today we are going to learn about Grignard reagents. Okay. So what are Grignard reagents? So Grignard reagents is one type of organometallic compounds. So basically this is known as organomagnesium halides. Okay. Basically this is known as organomagnesium halides. Why? Because it contains three parts. That is the basic part. This is the alkyl group. There should be magnesium obviously. So not all organometallic compounds are Grignard reagents. Only organomagnesium halides are known as Grignard reagents. That means to become a Grignard reagent, the presence of magnesium as well as the presence of halides is important or mandatory. Okay, the presence of the magnesium and the presence of the halide. Halide means halogens like chlorine, bromine, iodine. So their presence are important. Only at that case that organometallic compound is called Grignard reagents. Not all organometallic compounds are Grignard reagents. Only the organometallic compounds which contain magnesium as well as halogen, these are called Grignard reagent. Clear? Now, what is the structure? So this is the structure. So at the center we can see the presence of magnesium, the metallic part. Okay. Here we can see the presence of a alkyl group. So alkyl group is the hydrocarbon part and this is the halogen. Halogen means chlorine, bromine or iodine could be present here. Alkyl group means just like methyl, that means CH3, ethyl, that means C2H5, propyl, C3H7. So this type of alkyl groups could be present in a Grignard reagent. Clear? Next, what is the preparation? What is the preparation of Grignard reagent? So first we will see here the laboratory preparation of Grignard reagent. So the laboratory preparation of Grignard reagents. So in laboratory, Grignard reagents are prepared from alkyl halides, okay. In laboratory, Grignard reagents are prepared from alkyl halides in presence of magnesium and dry ether is used as a solvent. Dry ether, that means specially this type of ether, that is diethyl ether. Diethyl ether, that is C2H5 OC2H5. Okay, on both sides of the oxygen two ethyl groups are present, so diethyl ether. So this type of ethers are used as solvent. Okay, now alkyl halides comes in contact with the magnesium. So what will happen? So now the reaction will take place, okay, forming the compound as alkyl. Suppose any alkyl halide is there, that is RX. R means alkyl group, X means the halide. So after reacting with the magnesium, it will form RMgX. It will form RMgX. So that is the alkyl magnesium halide. Okay. So one example now. Suppose we have taken here C2H5Br, that is ethyl bromide. Ethyl bromide we have taken and then reacting it with magnesium in presence of diethyl ether. So what will happen? So they will form ethyl magnesium bromide. Ethyl magnesium bromide will be produced. okay, as the product. So by this way we can prepare the Grignard reagents in the laboratory. Now one question is, why we use dry ether as a solvent here? Why we use dry ether just like the diethyl ether as a solvent here? What is the reason? So the reason is that normally this Grignard reagents or the alkyl magnesium bromides, they are very unstable and explosive also in nature. So if we don't use any solvent, or if we use water as a solvent, so there is the chances of decomposition of this compound and to cause an explosion also. So to avoid that case, we use a solvent here, that is diethyl ether or any type of ether, okay. So what is the role of ether here? So as we know that ether contains oxygen in the center, which has two lone pairs of electron or two unshared pairs of electrons. Now whenever they are present in the reaction medium, so this lone pair of electron that is present on the oxygen, that can make a coordinate bond with the magnesium, okay, one from this side, another one from this side. So in the reaction medium, when Grignard reagent is formed in presence of a dry ether, so then what will happen? So then the lone pairs or the unshared pair of electrons that are present on oxygen, they can make a coordinate bond with the magnesium atom of the Grignard reagent. Thus one molecule of Grignard reagent is coordinated to two molecules of ether, right? One molecule of Grignard reagent is coordinated with two molecules of ether. So by this way, the Grignard reagent gains stability in presence of the ether, okay. Because of this, it gains stability in presence of ether, and in absence of ether, it could decompose and can cause explosion. So that is the reason that why diethyl ether or any type of dry ether is used in this reaction medium. Clear? Next thing that we are going to see is different types of reactions that are performed by the Grignard reagents. These reactions are very important in organic chemistry. And one more thing, this this type of alkyl magnesium halides, this type of compounds were first discovered by scientist Grignard, okay. Scientist Victor Grignard, he was a French chemist, and because of this he got Nobel Prize in the year of 1912, okay. So because of his invention Victor Grignard, so these are called Grignard reagents. Next, reactions of Grignard reagents. So first we will see reaction with water. Reaction with water. So first, any Grignard reagent I am taking here, CH3MgBr, methyl magnesium bromide, and along with this water molecule is present here, okay, plus H2O. Now see how it can react with this. First we have to check the partial charges on these two compounds. See here, so if we can detect the partial charges, so it will help us to identify that what will be the mechanism or how the compounds will react with each other. So first here CH3, carbon is normally electropositive, that we know, but as magnesium is present here and magnesium is having metallic character, and obviously magnesium is having more electropositivity, or as we know that the metals are more electropositive than any other non-metals. So as it is a metal, so it will gain a positive charge. This is a delta sign, okay? Sorry, not delta, del sign. Del positive, and this is del negative, okay? Del means what? Very partial. That means very little charge, very little positive charge will be formed on magnesium, and very little negative charge will be formed on the carbon. Now see here, H2O, it could be written as H plus and OH minus, right? In water molecule, H plus and OH minus. Now what will be their attacking tendency? Now this negative, it will be combined with the positively charged hydrogen, and this OH minus, it will be combined with the magnesium. So what we will get from here? So this bond, it will be broken. So the two compounds that we will get after this reaction is hydrogen will be combined with this CH3. So CH3H, that means actually CH4. So one hydrocarbon, one alkane will be produced here, plus this OH group, hydroxyl group, will be attached to the magnesium. So magnesium hydroxide, hydroxyl bromide, magnesium hydroxyl bromide. So this will be produced here, okay, MgOHBr, along with the alkane, that is methane, that will be produced here in this case. So whenever any Grignard reagent or any alkyl magnesium halide, it reacts with water molecule, so then we will get an alkane that is corresponding to the hydrocarbon part, okay? If there is one carbon, then we will get methane. If there are two carbons, so then we will get ethane, because one carbon means methane, two carbon means ethane. So we will get the alkane molecule, okay, with respect to the hydrocarbon part that is present here, and the hydroxyl part that will be combined directly with the magnesium. Clear this one? Next, reaction with alcohol. This was reaction with water. Next is reaction with alcohol. So alcohol I am taking just like C2H5OH, ethanol. Okay, C2H5OH. So now what will happen? This part will be same, that the alkyl group, it gains the negative charge, partial negative charge, and the metal that gains partial positive charge. Now here oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen, that we already know. So oxygen will gain the negative charge and hydrogen will gain the positive charge. So what will happen? So now this negatively charged carbon, it will now make an attack on the hydrogen, and this OC2H5 group will attack on the magnesium. Okay, it will attack on the magnesium. So what we are getting from here? Again CH3, it combines with this activated hydrogen. This hydrogen is more activated than the normal hydrocarbons or than any hydrogen atom. Why? Because this is attached with an electronegative element. So that's why this type of hydrogens are called activated hydrogen, as they are attached with an electronegative element. Okay, so what will happen? CH3 will combine with hydrogen, making the alkane, that is CH4, and this OC2H5 ethoxy group, it will be combined with the magnesium and then Br. Now if we hydrolyze this compound, so then we will get here MgOH Br, magnesium hydroxyl bromide. Okay, after hydrolysis this compound, we will get this as the product. So these are again the two compounds we are getting. One is alkane, okay, corresponding to the hydrocarbon part. If there is methyl, then we will get the methane. If there is ethyl, then we will get ethane, just like this. and then we are getting the magnesium hydroxyl bromide. Clear? Next type of reaction of Grignard reagent, that is reaction with carbonyl compounds. Reaction with number 3, reaction with carbonyl compounds. So what are carbonyl compounds? Carbonyl compounds are having CO group, C double bond oxygen. This part will be present in the carbonyl compound and another 2 bonds. Now in these 2 bonds there could be one alkyl group, in another there could be one hydrogen, okay, or in these 2 sides there could be hydrogen on both sides, or on both sides there could be 2 alkyl groups. That means in the middle part it remains same. The middle part remains same where all of them contain the CO group, okay, but the 2 atoms or the 2 substances that are present on the 2 bonds, that will change. Both of them could be hydrogen, or at least one could be hydrogen, another one could be one alkyl group, and both could be alkyl group. Now all of them are having different type of name. If both of them are hydrogen, okay, if both of them are hydrogen, so then it is called aldehyde. If at least one is hydrogen, actually the definition is if at least one is hydrogen, so then it is called aldehyde, okay. And if both of them are alkyl groups, if both of them are alkyl groups, then it is called ketone. So in class 12 we will read this in details. So there is just a summary that if both of them are alkyl groups, then it is called ketone, and if at least one of them is hydrogen, then it is called aldehyde, okay. If at least one of them is hydrogen, then it is called aldehyde, otherwise it is called ketone. So now this one having 2 hydrogen on both sides, this is called formaldehyde. This is called formaldehyde. So first we will see here the reaction of carbonyl, the reaction of Grignard reagent with formaldehyde. So formaldehyde means C double bond oxygen and hydrogen on both sides plus CH3 MgBr. Now again we have to check the positive and negative charge. Magnesium is a metal, so always positive. So that will be negative in comparison to magnesium. Okay, in comparison to metal, it is less electropositive. That's why having partial negative charge. Now, in between carbon and oxygen, carbon having positive charge and oxygen having negative charge. Now, what will happen? Now again, the opposite charges attract each other. So this negative charge, it will attack. It will make an attack on the carbon. And this bond it will open, and then this oxygen it will attack on the magnesium. So what we are getting from here? Carbon, these 2 hydrogens I am writing in this way. At the below part there will be CH3, and at the upper part it will be single bond O minus, then minus, then this oxygen is attached with the MgBr. This thing we are getting initially, okay. After that, after hydrolysis of this compound, hydronium ion H3O plus, okay, after hydrolysis of this compound, this bond it will be broken and one hydrogen will be attached with this. This will be attached with the OH minus group because this is positive, and as this is negative, so it will be attached with the hydrogen, okay. Because hydrolysis means what? Hydrolysis means we are adding water here. We are adding water. So water again contains H plus. So the negatively charged oxygen, it will combine with the hydrogen. So from there we are getting one alcohol, OH, CH3. So this is actually ethanol. CH3 CH2OH, CH3 CH2OH, ethanol we are getting, and here MgOH Br. Okay, so by reaction with the carbonyl compounds, just like here I have shown the reaction with formaldehyde, we are getting one alcohol here. Okay, we are getting one alcohol here. Now suppose if we have taken any other thing, just like if we have taken one acetaldehyde here, that means in one position there is a CH3, so then everything will remain same, the mechanism is same. Okay, just the compound will be different. At one place there will be one CH3, and at the product we are getting CH3 CH CH3OH. That means this is called isopropyl alcohol. At the final product we are getting this one CH3 whole to CHOH. That is isopropyl alcohol. Okay, so whether we are taking one aldehyde or whether we are taking one ketone, so here the compound formation will be same, the reaction mechanism will be same. Here also we can take one CH3 group. So if two methyl groups are present on both sides, so another CH3, it will be attached in this carbon. So I am just telling you the summary that what is the change actually, so that you could figure it out that what is actually the change. The change that actually happens here, it was initially present. Now the alkyl group that was present here, it would come to join up with this carbon. Okay, so already two methyl groups were present initially. Now this new hydrocarbon group or alkyl group, it will come to join with this carbon, Now what will happen? This double bonded oxygen, it will become OH. So finally from a ketone, it was a ketone now, because on both sides there are two alkyl groups, on both sides there are two methyl groups, so it is one ketone type compound. If at least one of them were hydrogen, then it was called the aldehyde. So from the ketone we are getting this type of alcohol, that is called tertiary butyl alcohol. Tertiary butyl alcohol. So by this type of reaction, by reaction with carbonyl compounds, always we are getting alcohol. Okay, and the mechanism is same for all of them. And the last type of reaction, that is reaction with alkyl cyanides. All are having the same type of mechanism. Alkyl cyanides or hydrogen cyanides. Alkyl cyanides just like RCN. So that means CH3C triple bond nitrogen. Alkyl cyanide. So methyl cyanide I am showing here. So in this case nitrogen is negative, carbon is positive. Okay, nitrogen negative, carbon positive. Now here we are adding the Grignard reagent CH3MgBr. So here magnesium positive, methyl negative. Now what will happen? Again opposite centers will be attached. So negative part, it will combine with the carbon. Okay, and this negatively charged nitrogen, now as well as or as soon as it makes an attack on the carbon, so one bond, it will make a negative charge on the nitrogen, because carbon can make maximum of 4 bonds. Okay, so one bond, it will rise up to the nitrogen making a negative charge, and this nitrogen, it will combine with the positively charged magnesium. So what will be the product here? CH3 single bond carbon, double bond nitrogen. So this CH3, it will come here. Okay, this CH2 will come here. This MgBr, it will be joined at this place. So this compound we are getting first. Now we have to do hydrolysis here again. H3O plus. So after doing hydrolysis, so what we will get from here? we will get CH3 single bond carbon, one ketone type of compound we will get from here. First, one imide type of compound, NH, CH3. So hydrogen will be joined here because this is minus, this is plus. So H plus will come here and OH minus will join here. Okay, so NH and MgOHBr, it will be removed out. MgOHBr, it will be removed out, right? Now again we have to make another step for hydrolysis. Now if we hydrolyze this compound again, so then from here we will get one oxygen at this place. That means one ketone, CH3CO, CH3. This is the carbonyl part, and along with these two alkyl groups are present. So acetone we will get from here, and this NH, it will make NH3, that is ammonia. That means in H2O, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen is there. So oxygen will combine with the carbon, because carbon is positive, oxygen is negative. So oxygen will combine with the positively charged carbon, and hydrogens are respectively comparatively positive. So hydrogen will attach with the nitrogen. So 2 hydrogens will attach with NH, forming NH3. Clear? So this is the reaction with alkyl cyanide. So in our next class we will discuss the next part of this chapter. Thank you everyone for watching this video.